The point
Rocks.
taken, but at the same time, Kirk, when songs become hits, they also become entrenched in pop culture. I mean, you guys are certainly a part of that through the 80s and 90s, and people expect certain sounds and inflections. Were you concerned that these new versions would change or diminish the legacy of the originals?
No, it's not something that I really pondered at any.
They're not sacred.
Yeah.
The originals are not sacred to you.
Well, the original versions are sacred as they are, but that doesn't mean they can't be, redone or covered. A lot of our songs have been covered over the years. Some of them good, some of them bad. I think really this was just an artistic, creative kind of concept that we really liked the idea of, and challenging for us, and obviously, with every album you release, you hope it's appreciated, or hope it's, I guess, successful, whatever that means.
Were there any songs that you wouldn't recreate that were off the table?
Not really. In fact, probably as a result of doing this, there's, other songs that we kind of may or may not do at another point, and there's a few songs left over too.
What did you learn about the music that you've created over the last few decades by reinterpreting these songs?
I think the obvious thing really is, what most of them really, but what fantastically crafted songs they are. Hats off to Andrew and Michael for the majority
Absolutely.
part of it, because if you can rip a song apart and put it back together in a completely different way and it still stands
30
up.
years later.
Yeah. It still stands up, or it just sort of, it's testament to we were very lucky. We had great songs to start this project with.
JD?
Well, I think with anything you have to put your best foot forward, especially with a band that has a legacy like INXS. It really has to be. I was just thinking as you were asking Kirk a question and Kirk was answering. I'm thinking, what a great opportunity it is to come and talk about being creative. As we were saying before, metaphors aside. In this day and age, nobody buys an ordinary product. They have to buy an extraordinary product, because with the technology, as this record it so demonstrates, you have to put in this much. And for those of you that can't see, I have my arms spread right across.
A lot, yeah.
A
You
lot.
were demonstrating a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Eagle spread here.
How big?
Spread eagle. And to get a little bit back in return. And I think where the benefit is there's a certain security that when people see INXS written across a record, they know there's going to be a standard there. They know there's going to be a quality there, and they know there's going to be a sound there. I think it's very, I commend the band for taking this step and disassembling and then reassembling their songs.
What do you mean if you put in a lot? You can put in a lot for a little in return. What does that mean?
Well, we're in the a la carte generation. So, it used to be before you had a 12-inch record, you were tactile, you could feel the 12-inch, you'd open it up.
You bought the whole record.
And bought the whole record, and you could actually, there was a chance in every kid's heart that at one point one of the band members touched this record, and there was 12 by, there was a square foot of art on the front of it. Now it's like an inch. And it's clicked on a screen, and you get a 30-second preview of it. The mystique is gone. So you have to, in this marketplace, you can't afford to not be extraordinary. You have Lady Gaga has to wear meat on stage to get her name Lady Gaga out there. You've got Pink doing cartwheels off a trapeze artist, poor girl. She may love that, but at the end of the day, it's slowly drifting from music into image, and I hope at one point we're going to have a really happy cross-section of, the technology aside, cream always rises to the top, and that's why I've been in love with this band from day one, because at the end of the day, you can't download a live show. At the end of the day, you can't fake, some of the stuff that we're going to be able to pull off live on this record on stage. You can't fake that.
Right.
So that's pretty
Although
much
you're no stranger to image. Image is important to you, too, right?
Oh, it's important.
And doing
too,
extraordinary things.
Oh, absolutely. I think that, you are what you think about all day long, right? So if you think that you're one thing, you're going to end up becoming that, I try not to think about myself in any other way except for just literally learning how to live in the moment. And whether that's saying something that is so messed up that comes out of my mouth unfortunately, we do live in that generation where, you know, you say the wrong thing, and next thing you know, it's all over the news, or it's taken out of context. It's like, but ironically, we're back in junior high or elementary school where, you know, you caught a fish, you know, this big, and by the end of the day, oh my God, it's a whale, you know. So, you know, you've really got to be
Kirk,
careful.
do you agree with this idea that this is where I was going to go with the interview, but it's interesting conversation.
Sure.
Do you agree with this idea that you have to be more fantastical than ever to sell these days? I mean, isn't the rock star dream something that existed when your band actually formed? And wasn't Michael Hutchence once called the last great rock star because of the excess and etc.?
Oh, look, no, I don't believe that that's the be end. You know, the end all, whatever the.
But you've had a
thing.
30-year career.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, you know, but you know, take a band like Coldplay. I mean, they're not sort of extraordinary in any other way than they just make great songs and that sort of thing, and they're hugely successful. So, no, I think, you know, some artists need to do something to be noticed. Some perhaps don't, but at the end of the day, you know, especially in these times, you do have to be noticed.
But on some level, do you lament the way the music industry at its highest levels has gone? You know, I mean, that people have to wear meat dresses. I mean,
yeah, but that's always been around. I mean, you know, yeah. I mean,
that's creativity.
No, but true. I mean,
absolutely.
Alice Cooper used to bite, you know, chickens and snakes and whatever.
Absolutely.
And Ozzy Osbourne used to bite bats, and I mean, that's that style of marketing, if you want to call it, it's been around for, you know.
But that was extraordinary. You see what I'm saying? That's my point exactly. My point exactly is it's extraordinary to wear a meat dress on stage. Okay, that's
some would also say it's performance art.
Absolutely,
that
was
my
whole
not marketing.
point. It's not like she's going up there in a black little cocktail dress and going, "Hi, thanks for the award." She's going up there and being extraordinary, and that takes a big, have my arms open again, a big thing to gain a little bit of, that story was popular for 15 minutes, and the girl had to wear a meat dress. So, you mean, you go to, like, and I mean, as extraordinary as this sounds, you have rap artists that are shot 3 or 4 times, and it almost becomes like a badge of honor, where it's like, I've been shot 6 times, I've been shot 4 times. Well, I mean, you know, which story's funnier? You know what I mean? Like, who gets that prize of being the top guy, you know?
Okay. I know I have you here for a limited amount of time, so I have to get the.
Let
me get the No, not at all. I mean, this is the thing. I would rather keep, but I have to get the clarification out of the air here, because or into the air. One of the two. We're on the air. On the air. You're because JD, within this interview, you've referred to yourself as both in the band and separate from the band as well. So
I think you did, and I was being diplomatic.
Okay. Well, you said we, and then you said, but just for the sake of clarification. So because we know you were in the band. Mm-hmm. And then, for a while you had said that you weren't in the band. So where are you at right now? Are you in the band,
Kirk?
Yeah. Well, when the band wasn't doing anything, he wasn't in the band.
So okay. Well, that's a nice. I understand. But what does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
No, it's just, I mean, at the end of the day, we've come back. You know, ironically, we have history now because of that television show Rockstar INXS, which was great, you know, but there was a lot of expectations. And after you tour for like 23 months, we did, you know, it was pretty grueling. And then after that, you know, things kind of fell apart for a little while, some miscommunication. And at the end of the day, I think it's really a testament. This is why I've been a fan. This is why I have those guys. I had them up on my walls, you know, their posters. Well, actually, I couldn't afford the posters, so I just had basically a kick and Shabu Shaba spread open.
You scribbled it.
Right. No, it tacked into the walls. I had the vinyl, you know, in the sleeve on the floor kind of thing. Because they not only were they my heroes then, but they became my heroes now when they stepped up, and we just buried a lot of hatchets and said, listen, you know, we get one kick at this. But
what was the hatchet? In early 2009, you said the band left you stranded at the airport in Hong Kong, effectively breaking ties. Was that an accurate account of what happened?
I think that was more of a misquote. There was a tour that was supposed to happen. There was miscommunication. There was a 3-week break, and basically, you know, I don't recall there was a time where there was any effective, you know, correspondence between myself and the band, being, you know, almost 15,000 kilometers apart at that time. And then there was new management coming in and stuff like that, and it just really was. It was a really positive moment when, we got back together. It was Andrew and Gary and I in Los Angeles. We sat down.